Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are once again. Okay. Now, I realise it has been a wee little while, hasn't it? It's I didn't realise, but apparently it's been about 3 weeks. Something around that sort of time frame. But here we are, back once again, back into the action, back into the east, to the OstFront. Now, from where we left off last time, I did make a random mistake, didn't I? Oh, I forever regret going for this here. I should have been cautious, conservative, and gone for that, or just actually checked the fortification button. But I was rash, young, a week ago, so young. But the good news is we're still here. We still have made it through the defensive lines of what would have been Leningrad's defenders here. So we're still in a very good situation here. Just gonna turn the music down ever so slightly. There we go. So we're still in a decent position. We can make use of this. The beauty here to note is the fact that the Leningrad defenders over here, or at least the actual Red Army forces over here to the north, they're not all that cracking. There's very weak formations and we do need to exploit this. I think what we may do here, or may attempt to do, is actually move on towards, towards the city of Novgorod. The reason being, if we can secure Novgorod, at least I do cut this area off here. Just nice. Move on over there. There we go. If we secure Novgorod, at least then we do have a logistics base there to actually use, which is very nice. We do obviously need to move up here as well, but that should be quite easy. I don't think there's going to be anything really holding this area here. So that's good. If we move to the north, obviously secure that. That takes all of Estonia pretty much out of Soviet hands, which is quite good. That means that we do have access then to the port at Tallinn, I do believe. How you doing there, Fron? It's good to have you as always, my man. I mean, this is it, isn't it, Fron? I don't get to see you that often. It's a shame. You're on the wrong side, mate, aren't you? How you doing there, Shiver Spites? Good to have you as always, my friend. Welcome to the stream. Okay. So what I'm thinking here then is... well, let's take a look at the actual terrain here then, shall we? If we take a look at this here then, we do see, I'm going to use yellow, I quite like the yellow here for the time being. So we'll draw on the actual rivers over here then. Canals, whatever you want to know them as. Some of them are more than likely rivers. But as we can see here then, we do have a lot of swamp over here, which is not exactly cracking. Indeed, our eyes blow in. Oh dear. There we go. So this is the terrain that we need to watch out for. Now as far as I can see here then, let's have a look. We do have a band of, well, we have clear terrain here, we have light woods here, we have clear, well, light woods here, and Novgorod itself there. Indeed, the next turn should be rather interesting. Unfortunately, can't give away too much there. See, one day we'll be able to talk about things that happened in the campaign already. I'm looking forward to that, because it's like, the issue is, I love talking about it. Like, I probably give details away to THG, and it's just like, I just like to talk about it. I just like to try and, like, tease him as well. Okay. So take a look at this then. So it seems like the actual path here that we should be striving for is across the actual rivers over here, which isn't exactly great. That makes it a little bit harder on me. But we need to be taking advantage of this. This is so very easy. I can actually use this here to make it a Novgorod. So we take Novgorod. That does cut the rail line here. Now what I want to be aiming to achieve then is, let's see, further down the front. We do have our forces by Smolensk, which are steadily making progress over here. We are still at the city of Smolensk. We will soon engulf the city in just a few, well, days if that. I'm looking towards sweeping up through the rail lines over here. What I want to do is actually cut the rail lines from Moscow to Leningrad. We need to sever the actual rail connections. The principal reason there being, so the forces in Leningrad are the only forces in Leningrad, and the forces at Moscow are the only forces at Moscow. So, what will more than likely happen then is forces from the south will be moved to the north, but also they'll be on the southern border, well, on the southern area over here. but I want to prevent them from getting to the north. I want to prevent them from getting to Leningrad. If I can take Leningrad, then I mean, Christ, I'm putting things into taking Moscow here. I mean, Moscow, it wasn't initially the aim, but it has become the aim. So we are trying to make Moscow our main aim here. But if I can take Leningrad without much in the way of resistance, then that would be excellent. Obviously, we'd have a really good logistics space there for 1941 into 42. But having Leningrad and Moscow would be superb. So let's see what we have here then. So we do have the Finnish Forces over here then. They are just about reaching the border over here. How you doing there, Feta? It's good to have you as always, my friend. The funny thing is every time I say your name, Feta, it really makes me think of like feta cheese. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, really. So we did move some forces out from here, Ben. So we did reassemble the 17th Finnish Division, which is very good news. Your mic quality sounds off. I don't know about that one. Maybe... It might be, I don't know, I've got a little bit of a cold here at the moment. Got a little bit of a cold, so it might be that. Maybe. It's one of those, you know when you're feeling a little bit like nasally? You know when you got like that sort of like nasally stuff? It might be that. But ideally it's okay. Ideally it's okay. Right, we actually do have cavalry over here, which is superb. Let's take a look at the table equipment for the cavalry. Combat engineers are very nice. Cavalry squad. Yeah, it might be just the fact that I mean, this is the first video today. Usually takes me a little while to warm up sometimes. But I'm a little bit like sort of nasally as well, so it might be just that, really. I'm feeling all self-conscious here now. Okay. The cavalry and the 17th are going to come in very handy. I think what we need to do here then is figure out how we want to approach the Soviet situation here. The question comes down to, am I better off advancing against them? Because I could push these forces back over here. Though it does make me wonder, because I can only advance as far as this. So it might be worthwhile doing that. Or at least attempted to do that, because then at least we are forcing the Soviets into a smaller area. You can only have 3 units per hex, so there is a limit to how many men can be here. And what are the aims before the mud arrives? To be fair, we really are trying to take Moscow. If I can get to Moscow, I'll be happy there. I've sacrificed... I mean, I did reinforce the south here, but I've really quite heavily reinforced the centre. The centre's received the vast majority of the actual armies and the reinforcements. The north has received some reinforcements, but it's principally aimed at trying towards driving onto Moscow. I don't really... I mean, it's one of these things that I don't intend to directly march on the city. I'd rather go like so, especially to the south here as well. But what I want to do then is actually cut these rail lines around Moscow and surround the city itself, actually. There we go, we have the man himself. So we have Achilleus here. Now, this guy here is superb. I'm pretty sure he was elected the lead cat in Tokyo for 2017. Now, if you wonder what that means, it basically means that he's actually quite, I don't know where I'm going with this one. I was trying to figure out a compliment that's a bit weird, but that's got off a bit off the track there. Yeah, go ahead and check out his channel. Really good guy, does a lot of really nice content. And he's from Canada, so he's okay, probably. Yeah, I was about right. He's the Eastern European to your Western European. He's the coffee to your tea. He's the low-fat sugar to your sugar, really. If there is a low-fat sugar. I don't know if it is, actually. But you have, like, a sugar substitute, but I don't know if you have, like, a low-fat sugar. Okay. Right, so let's not waffling on then. Let's get the 17th Division over here, then. Get them moving. The thing is, we don't have access to the rail lines over here as of yet, but that's okay. So we'll have to move up to take control of that position there. Now, what I'm going to do then, let's see, is it Control Z? Is it Shift Z? There we go, Shift and Z. So move the 4th Finnish Corps over here then to Viborg. Advance it potentially 1 more hex there, so we can actually make use of its artillery. It has only 68 guns here, but that's still something. I know I've said it a few times already and I think I know the answer, but I really think you should play AML in 1v1 scenario. I mean, I'd like to. I would like to. I think in the future I will do like a play by AML scenario. I think the thing is, it's like, if I was to do one in the East, I think it would have to be from 1942 or from 1943, perhaps. I mean, one of the West, it could be done. I think we'd have to find a good scenario for that. It's one of those things of, It'd be interesting. I'll have a think about it. I'll have a think about it. But it is a good thing. I think if I was to do one of the East, it'd probably be better from 1942, just because, like, 1941, it's one of these things of when it's a bit of a pain for the Soviet players. I wouldn't want to actually put down to somebody. They'd have to be quite committed, really. Okay, so we have the 1st Finnish Cavalry. I'm kind of tempted with the Cavalry. I mean, the Cavalry, it's not exactly a very strong division per se, so I might as well have it move over here to the north. At least then it can make use of its mobility. I mean, obviously, once the mud arrives, then they still retain some of their mobility, which is quite good. It would allow me to retain one division here to have them sent down there. I don't need much, so I think a cavalry division would be quite nice. I can also have a Jaeger brigade actually sent that way, which would be superior. Now, they're not on the rail lines at the moment, but we'll have them shift over. No rail lines over here to the north, so we'll have them just march directly then, that's fine. In fact, let's see. How can I get away with getting you as close to our supply lines, but within command range? Hey, doing that, G-Man. It's good to have you as always, my friend. Okay, that'll do. That will do. What I'm going to do then is have this division actually reassigned elsewhere. Now, of course, still don't have access to rail lines. I think what we'll do then is we'll have maybe 1 to 2 divisions at absolute most. The cavalry should be more than sufficient, and 1 infantry division should be sufficient over here in the north, in this area over here. We are going to really place as much pressure on here as we can do. So let's see what we can bring down. Okay, of course we don't have the rail lines operational as of yet. Some of these will be soon, but not yet. How you doing there, Paul? At least you are not being asked to play as the Poles in September 1939, yeah. I think you should send the Karelian Front east. And it's one of these things, it's like, if we have a look over here, I mean obviously we do have the Karelian Front army. The thing is, it takes a very long time to make it down here, and it's a lot of supplies being drawn up over here. I can definitely send 1 or 2 divisions, maybe potentially more divisions, but I think as far as it goes, there's a limit to how many divisions are actually useful over here. I think in the meantime, if we put the pressure on here, really force the Soviets into this zone over here, if we can really box them in, we might have an easier time of it. We'll see what we can do. Yeah. We'll use the units here. We'll push them back into Leningrad, and then the units that I can spare I'll have sent over here. I think that'll be the way we can actually do that then. Okay, so what we're going to do then is take the units that are available. Then again, I suppose this is it. You might be right, maybe we do have the Karelian Front move down here. Issues, they can only move to about that position there, but that's not a bad thing, because at least then it ties up some Soviet forces. You know what? You know what, this time, Fetter, I'll actually let you have that one. We've got enough force there. We'll go ahead and move the Karelian Front out like this then. We can always move forces back as needed. I think we can manage to the south with the forces that we do have in this area here. So, yeah, I'll let you have this one. Take my man squid the Finns, yeah. Yeah, well this is it, isn't it? Places them in a good position, so that's okay, we'll see how that goes. Right. So what we'll do here then is we need to focus on the divisions I dug in. Well, then again, do we focus on the ones that I dug in? Probably not, considering that they'll push back or be, they'll either move back or not really. I kind of would love to entice the Soviets to move out from this area over here so I could actually lighten the defenses around Leningrad, but I don't think that's going to happen. That's too much. The 21st Tank Division's too much. In some ways, it's better to not actually destroy these divisions, but just sort of keep them occupied to take up the room there. So what I'll do then is I'll fill in the gaps over here. Right, move to Viborg. Do we have any supplies at Viborg? No. Bit of an awkward situation there. Well, Viborg works, so that's okay. I'll have to do then. Okay, well that works. They're happy enough. So now the question comes down to, do I attack here? I'll obviously move the... I know I shouldn't have moved the headquarters, but we'll move them back over here so I can make use of them. I'll attack this division here. Right, they are forced to retreat. They retreat to the south, which is fine. We'll move in. And plan to encircle Leningrad with a gambit east of Lake Ilmen, or push with proper logistics by rail. See, the issue is I'd love to push past Lake... Well, I mean, what we are doing here then... Sorry, I was thinking about Lake Ladoga. The plan here at the moment is I need to move forces over here to secure this. Well, cut off the Soviet forces or whatever's in Estonia. But what I've got here then basically is a small corridor of clear... Well, clear and light forest towards Novgorod. So what I need to do then is actually secure the flanks there, secure Novgorod. And I think from Novgorod we march north towards Lake Ladoga. I don't need to directly engage with the defenders of Leningrad, I just need to pin them in tight, in as tight as possible really. But ultimately I do need to sever them from the rest of the Soviet Union. Okay. So, let's take a look. You've already moved then. So we'll have the rail line up to here next time, which is excellent. What I need to do then is gather these forces over here. Let's see. Rail lines are operational from here at Riga. You're unable to move via rail. You're unable to move via rail at the moment as well. Is it Shift N or is it Shift K? Right, Shift K is garrison, okay. So we do need to go ahead and start to garrison these cities. So what we'll do then is have these garrison forces begin to move that way. You can of course move towards Riga. Now I do have this force over here, but I don't need to move it like that. What we'll do then is we'll take a look. Well, then again, I could potentially use you to garrison Pskov, but the thing is we're going to have... do we use them to garrison Pskov? It probably might be worthwhile, considering the fact that it would actually release additional forces. What I could do is maybe use some forces, yeah, we'll take one of these formations, maybe the division or however much we need. Might be like a regiment perhaps, or maybe less. But we could actually have stay in this area, so we'll take one over here. And then at least the security forces could hold on to Pskov and hold on to Novgorod when we take them, or elsewhere. And the reason being, at least then we keep down partisan activity. But then again, it's one of these things of we probably are better off looking towards the cities of Kaunas, Vilnius. 2 regiments for Riga, okay. Well, what I can do here then... Where do the rail lines go? That way. Move you in over here. Right. This is an important... I mean, these are very important cities, really. How you doing there, No Name? It's good to have you as always, my friend. Now, No Name, I do believe you actually do produce your own content, don't you? So if you guys are not aware, please do go ahead and check out No Name Sport on YouTube. I do believe he produces some very nice content. Is it War in the Pacific that... No, sorry, is it Rule the Waves 2 that you cover? I believe you do some... Kerbal Space Program as well? There we go. How you doing there, Newhouser? Yeah, here we go. So we've got Newhouser, my tiger mom. He's looking great. Yeah, I remember playing a Kerbal Space Program back in the day. A fun game, fun game. I was never very good at it, though. Okay. So we've moved our security forces over here, actually. That's good. I wouldn't say that, no name. You're setting the bar really low there. Don't get yourself lumped in with me. It's not going to be a good end. Oh dear. I do win, occasionally. Though, then again, I don't lose that often because I don't actually finish most games. I had somebody actually comment today on one of my old Pride of Nations videos. And they're like, oh, found some videos that were in the playlist. I'm like, you know what? I kind of do fancy going ahead and going back to play some Pride of Nations, but I'd like to maybe play as the Ottoman Empire. That could be quite interesting. From like, I think it's the 1860 start, or it's either 1860 or 1880. I forget which start it is. I believe there's two options. Maybe the latter, maybe the former. But it could be interesting. We'd obviously have to begin at war. Well, we'd begin, but we'd obviously have some time to try and prepare for a war against Russia. Which would be interesting. But it worked for Kerbals. How you doing there, Grim? Good to have you as always, my friend. Thanks to the G-Man. I've got a smidgen of a chance. I've got maybe about a 0.5 to 1% chance. So, yeah, there we go. That's my unrealistic standards. Okay, I'm losing track of what I'm doing here now. Right, so I've got some forces over here. Obviously, they were assigned to guard the airfield. The good news is, well, the excellent news is... Now, notice the fact that I'm using a lot of rail capacity over here in the north. The reason for that is I'd rather spend the rail capacity here to get these units up to the front now than later. Okay. How are we going to do this then? So, let's take a look at the situation here. The city of Veliki Luki, however you want to pronounce it. Yeah, that's not too bad there. I believe we did cut the rails about here. They may not be repaired as of yet. So, the only working rail network that has access to this area here would be over here in the city, through the city I should say. So I believe if we push on towards the city we might be able to cut these rail lines off here then. They're still connected to the actual rail lines as such, but these may still be broken, which is very good. Let's see what we have in terms of reinforcements. I do believe we have some additional. So we have the 183rd Division, we have the 8th SS Cavalry Brigade. The cavalry is superb, obviously for the fact that it is very good at dealing with partisans. Okay. So the forecast is still clear, which is very good. Obviously these forces need to be sorted out over here then. You know, I like THG's dog. It's like the quintessential like family dog, isn't it? I'm quite jealous. I mean, I don't have any pets, like, but I've got a little brother. That's probably close as. But yeah, it looks like a lovely little dog. Well, it's not a little dog, but it looks like a lovely dog. Yeah, the 8th SS was pretty much going to use Fancy Barzan. Makes complete sense, really. We might be able to make use of it for other functions before that. I mean, I do need to have somebody look after the city of Vlastotorsk. We do have a security division here to work with. I think what we'll do then is we'll start with these security divisions. A lot of them have just been freed up, actually. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Rail lines here are non-functional. I could have them move there around. But it might be just worthwhile just to march. Let's see, so if I was to split you up into regiments... Yeah, they can march as far as I need them to march, which is fine. Okay, so one can move to Kaunas. Right, need another one there. Okay, there we go. So we'll see here then. Minsk probably might need a division. We'll see. Okay, so we are able to do it with 2 regiments, that's fine. Okay, so let's see. Vitebsk, or Vitebsk, however you want to say it, needs a garrison. I think it's probably easier to work our way from the rear than it is from elsewhere. Though, in all honesty, we only have one more city to really look after. Looks like Riga needs another one, actually. It's partially garrisoned, it seems. So we'll take one of these other ones over here and get them in there. Going to look for the moment. We need tigers. I tell you what, I've just actually ordered some stuff for Battle Group, actually, so we're going to be playing in 10mm now. So I've ordered my US forces, but I've also gone ahead and ordered some German forces for my little brother. So I managed to work him out a battle group list for about 350 points, and it's got 2 tigers, a SDKFZ 251/3, I think that's the radio, well, the actual command variant with the antenna, and then a 251/10, so that's 37mm AT gun. The door knocker, basically. So it's got a Panzer Grenadier platoon in half tracks with 2 tigers, the 2 additional, HQ in the half track and the 251/3, I think it's a /3, or it might be the /1. And then he's got a reconnaissance squad in a 251/ or it might be a 250/10, I forget which one it is now. And my own force is actually going to be 4 Shermans with a 76mm gun and M8 Greyhound. 2 US armoured infantry squads, not a platoon. A P-47 strike. What else did I put in there? I'm putting some other good stuff. It'd be good. Be nice. Yeah, the 76 mils are nice. I was tempted to go ahead and start making like a British force, but the thing is, it's like, well, I might as well make an American forces because a lot of this stuff carries over to the Brits anyway. I was tempted to go with Brits and then make like a Churchill force, but I'm thinking, well, it's only really the Brits that can use the Churchills. Yeah, R251/6 is the command one. Is that it? Alright, there we go. I think the 251/3, is that the, is it the Wufferman or whatever you want to call it? The one with the actual 280mm rockets. I think it's that one. Anyway, getting off topic as usual. Now the question comes down to what do I want to use here to advance north. We'll go ahead and take a look at what we have in these panzer groups. As far as it goes... Right, so we have 3rd Panzer Group. Let's go ahead and take a look then. So, Commander's Report. Let's go. Barbie Girl, HQ. Supply, no. Then again, actually might be... No, not support level. Sad T noises, I know. Right, here we go, units. Clear the filters. Right, there we go, none. I want to have armies, there we go. Now, current supply phase, absolute supplies. Basically the absolute amount, what is actually there? Well, ABS, relative supply details, I'll just say absolute. So let's see here then. So I have, is it the 4th or the 3rd Panzer Group actually? Sorry, I forgot about it. I think it's 3rd, yeah, 3rd Panzer Group, okay. So 3rd Panzer. 2nd Panzer, 3rd Panzer. Let's see here, nation, German. I tell you what, I'll try and find it. Let's see. Good thing is it only take me a second to find it. But I'm going to be doing more like post-war stuff as well, like Cold War era sort of stuff, and then like modern as well. But I'm probably using like the Fistful of Toe rule books for that. Toes. Yeah, there we go. That's the one I was talking about. The SDKFZ 251/3 with the like antenna frame, what do you want to call it? Ah, right, okay. Okay, so 3rd Panzer Group. So we do have a supply dump of only 84. We only have 5 in the way of fuel. Yeah, that's it, the radio one. So we have 16th and 18th Army over here to the north, I do believe. Not terribly large amounts of fuel or supply, in all honesty. That's actually really kind of concerning. Hmm. Potentially so. To be honest, I need to, and I know I mentioned this the other day on the Discord actually, I do need to get some more books about actual equipment used. I'm going to be reading Stout Hearts at some point in the future. Obviously, Newhouse recommended me that one. I'm going to go ahead and order that How the War Was Won as well, so that'd be quite a good one. But just, yeah, learning about the equipment and how it was used, really. The post-war Israel's a good army to look at. Yeah, I mean, this is it. You get, like, these Shermans, and those are really cool. I think I'd like to try, like, Warsaw Pact, obviously, like, Russian equipment. Because, I don't know, I like the look of the T-60s, T-70s, that sort of stuff. It's interesting. I don't think I've ever really played anything that's like a, horde army, quote-unquote. Nothing is better than Stand House with that and the British. Well, that's quite good, then. Okay, so we do have this force over here, but we do need... I'm going to leave it for the time being. I could leave a small unit just to keep it in check, but I don't think we need much more beyond that. So we do have the actual city being garrisoned here, which is good. So we'll go ahead and garrison the city of Brest-Litovsk. Now, I could keep that unit and move it further on. Now, Brest-Litovsk is actually just within the Axis ally limit, which is superb, actually. So what I'm better off doing then is actually taking a lot of these security forces. I can garrison the southern cities with the Romanian army and Hungarian army elements, maybe even Slovakian, etc. Potentially even an Italian in the future. But beyond that line, I really need all the German security divisions in the north. Obviously that allows me to actually free up German forces, well, actual mainline fighting forces. So what we'll do here then, is let's see. Yeah, these are German, of course. So I do have the Hungarians, but Hungarians are quite good. What I'll more than likely do is take some Romanians. We'll have them there. And for the time being then, what we'll do then is... you know what, let's have a look. When did the Italians arrive? Surely not that late. Must have gone by then. It may not show up as actual reinforcements per se. Okay. Like, I don't think there's any book for... Well, that's really good. I'll have to really start reading that. Not played a Horde army. Don't you remember the games of Steel Division? Yeah, that's true. That is true. I'll have to go back and... See, the thing is with Steel Division, I like the game, but it's like, I don't like how expensive the DLCs are. That's like a big off-putting thing. Like, really, really expensive. So we do have a number of cities I'm going to have to really, have to garrison soon. Let's take a look then. Can I survive without having, Moghilev? Sorry, Brest-Litovsk. No, I need a garrison now. Okay. We'll go ahead and have this city garrison now. There are some cities over here like Rovno as well, but I need to garrison. Though they're not as important, and it's in fact irrelevant for the time being. So what we'll do then, put them into Brest-Litovsk, have this city garrisoned. You, my friend, are now freedom. So what we're going to do then is have you march. I could have you move via rail, but how much do I have in the way of rail assets? 23,000 tons. I'd rather retain that for the time being. So we'll have you shift up. You can go ahead and occupy the city of more than likely Smolensk, etc. It's really along the actual rail lines. Obviously, the Division of the game has already got fewer players than its grandfather predecessor released 5 years ago. I tell you what, Newhouse, I did download Red Dragon. The thing is, I forgot about the units. I'm gonna have to give it a go. Italians come mid-42 for most of them, but the cores come September if I recall. Okay, that's not too bad. Yeah, only an arm and a leg, and the others, and the other arms. It is quite expensive. Right, can these forces move any further? I'd be better off moving them as far as I can do here while they're able to do so. So I have the 101st RHG command over here. We do have the core command over here, which is not bad. I don't know about that. Oh, I don't know about that. I'm not that fast. You're going to really have a good understanding of like the units and what they're like and what they're useful for. I did enjoy playing the French. So this is it. I've got a fistful of Toes free rule game system. I'd like to maybe play like actual modern, but it'd be nice to play maybe like the French and have like the little X, or obviously just go with the actual straight up American forces and having like the Abrams. Abrams look amazing. Okay. So now the issue that we've seen over here then is the fact that the 3rd Panzer group actually is lacking on terms of supply, which is not very good. Indeed, Master T-34. So it looks like we're going to have to do a little bit more of the actual lifting here with the 18th Army. The 16th Army is further to the south over here. The 16th Army is really assisting over here. So I think what we need to do then, I mean, if you take a look at this, maybe, so we have a mountain brigade over here, very weak unit. Alright, so that looks like the way to break there. I think we'll have to break through this area here, but move on towards the city. I'm on the actual battle group Facebook group, and somebody did put out some rules, or like some obviously non-legit rules for Korean War, which would be interesting. I really do like the look of the M60s, but I tell you what, I think one of my favourite, I'd say probably one of my favourite tanks in history would probably be the American M103. I just think it looks amazing. I don't know what it is about it, it just looks amazing. I think it's just the sheer size of the turret, I just think it looks incredible. I don't know. It just looks amazing. I always really like that tank. This one is not autistic enough. How you doing, that 80? Yeah, there's like 70% turret, isn't it? Yeah, it's just massive. And what was it? 120mm gun, something of that nature. Okay, I know I'm getting very sidetracked here. I can't help it sometimes. So, I think we have a few options here then. We could leave a very paltry garrison here just to hold this line here, which is, well, force, which is fine. At the end of the day, all I need to do is just, I could potentially even leave them just at the river line here. I don't gain anything by moving further on, in all honesty. So leaving them at the river line works well for me. What I may do then is leave behind the forces of the 291st Division. In fairness, what I should be doing then is looking at the actual divisions that are suffering in terms of tabled equipment, and having them move to the rear. Of course, the 8th Panzer did take a bit of a beating last turn, which is not too surprising. So more than likely we'll have them pulled back to go ahead and just have their table equipment recover, and obviously just have them recover in general. The morale's still very good. The table equipment is 50 out of 63, it seems. And we have lost about 2,000 men. We are... I mean, this is one of the things. It's like, obviously, I don't know what the actual table equipment was before they got pushed back. But it looks like we are missing a good number of tanks over here. We are missing our close support tanks. We do have 20 of them. I'm going to assume these being the Panzer IVs. Yeah, the Panzer IVs. Nice. I've got a little 10mm Panzer IV in front of me actually at the moment. It's really cute. Really, really cute. Well, if you guys can hear that. There you go, that's the Panzer IV's little turret turning. Tiny little bloody thing. Okay. So what I'll do here then is let's see, where do the rail lines go to? Where does the rail line reach? So, it covers really quite nice, it's good. Love a small gun Panzer IVs, yeah. I think it's a Panzer IV. Oh, yeah, the one's pictured indeed. The one I've got on my desk is a Panzer IV-F, I think it is. Right, I'm going to place you here. You can go there. And you about there. I'll leave this division behind to actually hold onto this area here. There's no real threat here. At the end of the day, I can have the 16th Army advance up and really push against them here. But I don't gain anything by having a stronghold in force here. So what we'll do then is we'll reform this division. What I could potentially do, actually saying that, what I could potentially do then, is note the terrain over here. I could have a division split into 3 just to hold this area here. I don't technically have to have it as a regiment or a set of 3 regiments here, but it's not a bad thing. It does give me the ability to cover a decent bit of terrain. Probably an F1 or F2, more than likely. We do have the town over here. So we'll move there. Move to the Posen riverbank. In fairness, what I could do here then is actually this. That works for me. Yeah, that works for me. It's a little bit further forward of a deployment, but it does mean that we have this area with some units. It's not entirely open, which is fine. You need to reform the division. Yeah, we need to get the infantry moving up into this area first and foremost. I may rest the panzers potentially, but we'll see. So what we need to do then is break towards Novgorod. So let's go ahead and take a look at the actual... I would attack the encircled units. The only issue is it's like the fact that they're in swamps. I'm just going to leave them to starve, to be honest. Move the actual airfields up over here then. Right. 160 fighters. Mostly auxiliaries, it seems. We do have the Junker 52/3s, which is very good. What I could potentially do then is, let's see... 1,000 units of fuel. I may actually get... Yeah, you know what, to be honest, let's see. These guys are going to move into the actual pool. That returns them to the pool. I'm trying to remember how you do this. I think it is through that method. Right. Actually, to be fair, what I'm going to do here then is just quickly save it first and foremost. I do tend to forget some things about one of these saving admin. So we'll just save it there. There's a weird issue with one of these actually. Like, the actual typing's really, really slow and I have no idea why. Very strange thing. Okay. I'd like to actually send these Junker 52/3s. More... I mean, I could probably have them sent either to the center or the south, but more than likely, I'd say probably the center for the time being. Now you might be thinking, well, why not send them to the south? It would be better in the south more than likely. The reason I say to the center is because obviously we need to try and make it towards Moscow, so at least having the ability to move additional fuel out there would be quite good. Okay, so I do have some high caliber 11s here. We have some B-109s. Ooh. See, that front, that sounds really nice, actually. You're gonna have to tell me about what you actually have there. I actually went to a Nando's the other day, actually. It's okay, it's okay. It's alright. Issue is, it's like, sometimes you get your food and it's just not hot. You know, when it comes to your table, it's just not hot. We are going to obviously need to retain a force here. Ooh, brown sound good. Okay, we'll place you in there to actually hold on to the city Pskov. Okay. So I do have the SS Infantry Division there. I could march around this way. That's true. But it'd probably be better moving through when we actually do have control over it. Okay. I could attempt to push her towards the actual lake over here as well, perhaps. That would be doable, and it would make sense considering the fact that the river goes all the way up over here. So what I might want to do then is use the Panzer Forces to move this way to the north. Use the infantry over here, because obviously they don't have to march as far. Our supply situation isn't exactly fantastic. So we could use the infantry to push towards Novgorod, and then potentially if we do have the ability to drive some armor up. So I only really need to get to this position here, this rail there, and obviously that one there. But these ones here would be quite good to go at. I think we'll attempt that. I think that makes sense. It does ensure security down in this area, which is nice. Okay. Let's see, what do we have here then? So we have supply to this area here, which is excellent. No real defensive terrain. I need to ignore this. I'm just going to... What we're going to do here then is use that as a defensive line. I don't need to move into this area. This area here really is... It's it's almost like a peninsula. Almost like a little island in a way. But I don't need to move into that. You obviously can't attack. You don't touch directly to third Panzer Group, that's obviously not great. 8-8. 6-8. 82 guns. 85, 177 guns. You actually have some guns attached to you. You should not have guns attached to you. They'll leave next turn. We do have the heavy howitzers, so 355s and 305 guns. Really nice, actually. Super heavies. Elkor. Not exactly a terrific amount of support available for you at the moment. I could still probably make that with just those guns. It's just one of these things of like, probably better off saving them. I don't imagine we'll have too much of an issue here. It's just light woods, there's no fortifications. What are we looking at in terms of, so supply they're looking good, which is not great. Morale isn't good, yeah, especially here it's not very good. Experience isn't very good. Okay. So you started here last turn. Range to rails 10. MP to rail 14. Yeah, this is it. We need to obviously... I mean, once the rails are close, it's going to be significantly better for us. I think that would be enough there with that one division, perhaps. So what I'll do then is I'm going to have you assigned to Elkor. I mean, this is it. It's only well, it's only 24 guns then. They still obviously have a divisional gun, so it's not all bad. At least then I can use these forces here to assist. So the 93rd will go to Elkor. It does take additional divisions away from the 3rd Panzer Group, which is not a bad thing at the moment. .577. I'm looking for a superior general. Von Mackinson over there. So the Mo got 667757. I don't really need the Mo, right, to be fair. But I'd rather have some better stats there. 555. In fairness, you might be the best I have access to at the moment. I mean, then a next step is General Lieutenant. I believe there is some sort of issue if you have the wrong rank in a command, but I don't think it's too telling. Morale, initiative, administration. In fairness, you are probably one of the best. I was thinking we might have something better, but you are pretty good. So, to be fair, you should stay. I'll see if I can assign you some additional support. You can move over to Elcor. Elcor as well. Okay, unfortunately we had to spend some administration points there, but it does give us about 55 guns. Still not exactly a huge amount there, but it is on top of the 200 guns there, so about 255 guns, that's not too bad. So we are going to go with a full attack here. Planned attack. Okay, we do succeed in rear. Yeah, okay, that's really good as well actually. They couldn't have retreated in a better location, so they retreated across the river, which is excellent. I would have them perform a haste attack here, but I think that's just asking for trouble. Right. Now I'm going to take the 86th Division from Pskov. I could have them march there, which is okay. I could have them march there. We'll have them march... Banzai, indeed, Banzai. Oh dear. And again we're going to launch a planned attack. See that some guns there, the 72nd gun. So you can see that about 8,000 men there, 114 pieces of artillery. It really is all about having that artillery superiority as well. That's very, very handy. It's not often that we can always have that. In the future we will definitely not have artillery superiority. Okay, we are successful. So then we do have the 21st Infantry. It really is a offensive here by the 18th Army, really. So 93rd could be moved there, but it might be able to go for some sort of hasty attack, but that's not really any good, is it? I do have the SS element there of Elcor. Now what I'll do then is I'll shift you to this position here. They're looking pretty weak on the ground. I'm hoping to avoid pushing them into swamps here. The issue is we're moving into this, formerly Soviet zone here. So we do lose some ability to move, so it might be actually worthwhile to move to this position here. At least then we maintain more. Again, a full attack. Now we do have 10 BF-109 F2s overhead here. And we are seeing a lot of I-16s here. I-16, Big 3s, I-153s, and AR-2s. I'll be back in just a second here, guys. Sounds like a delivery has arrived, so 2 minutes. There we go, and I'm back. Yeah, I got my second copy of the Pathfinder 2 playtest. So it's actually a funny story at the moment. It's like, on Amazon, the actual price has been all over. And obviously for those of you who are into that sort of, RPG sort of scene, like, Pathfinder 2 came out on August 2nd, I do believe it was. So you have the Pathfinder playtest. So it's about, like, well, I don't know, let's say about 90% final rules, which is fine. So the price went down from about £20 to £5 for the softback, and about 30 odd to about £9 for hardback. I'm like, go on then. So I bought both of them. And yeah, the price has been up and down like the last few days. It's really weird. But I've got both. Gone for about £15. I'm happy there. One to use and one to collect. Oh, the AR2 is a level bomb. That's cool. Right, okay, so 93rd there. We did have success with this division over here, which is fine by me. Notice we don't really have that much in the way of ability shifting up now. So I could potentially even keep them here. Retain that ability for the time being. To move if we need them to move elsewhere. Still have this division over here. I do have a number of divisions here. You're in a weird position. We do have some motorized. There's a 46 over here. Yeah, we've got 3rd and 4th Panzer over here. We also do then have 18th Army. Move 18th Army up. I'm going to have these elements assigned directly to 18th Army. Not always the best thing, but I'm only using them as a defensive measure. And in fairness, I do need to take their support elements back. Right, there we go. Yep, we're all good there. Right, so this core here then has actually quite a decent amount. I mean, what is that, the 26 core there? They have a decent amount of support there. So we're going to take this element from the 46 from 3rd Panzer. Though saying that, I'm probably better off keeping the Panzer units there, and then using the forces we have here from the 18th Army already. We'll go for that. There's divisions here. I'm going to launch a hasty attack here. Though saying that, it's not even worth it, is it really? I think these guys with a haste attack should be able to beat them back. I'm gonna use instead of planned attack. The reason being, I've got to get into the habit of using planned attacks, because it's like, if you're gonna attack, you might as well attack without being half-arsed. Good to have you on board as well there, Telly. Okay. We'll have to go through our different divisions as well and recall like a lot of the actual support elements as well, to be honest. Needing the actual headquarters where I can actually sign it out to where it's actually needed. Okay, so they do fall back. We do lose about 30 men there. They could actually push up further, which is good. But let's see here. You can't move there, but you can move there. The issue is that they're in that swamp now. So to be honest, we'd be better off attacking the 259th. We'll move the actual headquarters up. It's only a hasty attack, but it should still be okay. We have 6 BF-109 F2s over here. I don't know if we'll actually succeed with this attack. We'll probably take a fair amount of casualties, perhaps. But at least if it has a chance, that'll be good. Yeah, they just hold there. Just shy. Yeah, unfortunately they are holding. God damn. But it's made it easier for the next division. We might be able to rout one of these at some point here. That's what I'm hoping for. But we're not too far. I think if they, I'm hoping they're either going to go south or go north. They'll probably go back. But if they went to the north or south, that'd be even better. But we're not too far away from reaching Lake Ilman. We'll use the river as a defensive line, which is fine by me. Yeah, easy victory there. And they go back. So I've got 20 there. We'll launch... I mean, the thing is, do I even bother launching a hasty attack? Because they're not likely to succeed. Right, we'll use you here. And I think what I'll do then is I'll use a hasty attack from both divisions. That might be enough there. And that's 380 guns there, so... it's not bad, 31,000 troops. Ideally that is enough. I might be like making my own rule here, but I'm hoping that will be enough. Even with the hasty attack. They're not dug in. They're just in the forest. I mean, the losses are looking good here, so I'm hoping that'll work. So if it means I can move on and then attack that other division in the centre, that'd be great. We got a bomber, indeed we got a bomber. Good, it actually does work, that's great. We only lose, well, only 20 men are disabled, which is good. Leaves us with a good amount of ability to move up, which is what I like, that's great. Ah, so there's actually more men here. Okay, now that's some actual resistance. So we'll do a reconnaissance sweep over here then. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look then. So it is just that one division there. It appears maybe Novgorod is clear. Yeah, indeed, indeed. I do have the ability to logic full attack, but that is swamp there, so that's not exactly great. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to launch a planned attack to the south, the reason being that actually gives me a wedge that can drive through that line there. I do have some mow drives I could maybe drive through. I've got to just widen that a little bit further. But rather than go through what is tough, we might as well try this. And this is actually hard, I'm not going to lie, but it's a division that's been beaten back already. It does have swamp terrain, which is really good for them, but I'm hoping they'll be able to manage it. Oh, of course. Okay. We do have a gap though, so at least I have something. I think we'll use the 18th Army Quarter in the north then. I mean, this is it. I mean, if we do push on towards Novgorod, which it looks like we can do here then. I mean, this line is buckling and it will go soon enough. It does give me a position there that I can actually use, because I can still drive on some armor here, but then I can use the armor over here then. I mean, Talonnin's over here. Talonnin would be a nice big source of fuel there. So obviously then that being taken would help our fuel. But this means less work for the actual panzers, which is good. Right, I'll move you over here. And I'll use this, I think, as a garrison for Pskov. Okay, you've got 12, you have 11. You've got 12. We'll go with the 11. Yeah, see, issue is movement's a bit hard here. Yeah, indeed, liberate. What I'll do actually is the 11. Move to this position here. Push them across the river. As I say, just try to secure the actual position here. There we go. So now we've got them over on the other side of the river. That makes things a little bit easier. So we'll take... Well, we have the 1st Infantry Division. We have the 21st Infantry Division. What I could do then... They might need help, but what I could do is maybe use them against here. So we'll launch a planned attack with the 21st Division here. That should break them. I'm hoping I can drive that wedge. I mean, these divisions will probably shatter sooner or later, really. Yeah, I'm taking a lot of damage, man. 226 guns, not too bad. Do have a Stoke battalion in here as well, which is very good. Yeah, there we go. Shame they fall back in that direction there. Yeah, so zone of control from this unit here. What I'd like to do then is secure a position across the river then. Right, only a hasty attack. I'd say probably not worth it. So what we'll do then is we'll secure the position. And then we'll be able to push on that. I'll use the elements here from the 18th Army to do that then. These divisions over here then, the ones that are still active, what I'll do is move them closer towards the supply. And then at least in the following turn they'll have more supply than they would have started with, and that's a hell of a lot better for me. Hell of a lot better for them too. Okay. What we need to do here is secure this line. Good news is I can move up there with the regiments, which is good. Right, you're assigned directly to 3rd Panzer Group. Have you assigned to the actual core there? Thing is, I could move her that way. Well, let's see what we have at the front lines. Okay. Okay, hold that position. I mean, the towns over here, I mean, yeah, I mean, some of them have some decent amount of fuel. Okay, what we'll do then is we'll break you up. What I'm going to do then is, let's see. Yeah, I'm going to keep them in this area over here. So at least then in the following turn they'll obviously have that supply there. Oh, though you can move up quite far there. Okay, I'll hold you in high regard. Then we need to move on towards this area here. Question's going to be like, I really don't know too much about what's in this northern area. Okay, so we do see a unit here then. Right, okay. So I'd say we move across here then. Now this motorized doesn't have a huge amount of fuel. So in all honesty, it might be worthwhile actually keeping it next to the, I'll have you reassigned to 3rd Panzer Group actually. Reason being that at least it can actually remain in place and take fuel. Let's see. Well, actually saying that, they might as well stay in there. We do have some divisions over here, which is good. Okay, what we need to do then is really build ourselves up across the river here. You're not in a really good position. Okay, we'll move you there. Yeah, what I'm going to do here then is... we'll be somewhat cautious. Move you to there. Yeah, what we can do here then is I could potentially use the armored forces then to take that. Ostluga. Or Ostluga. How's the order of battle? Go ahead and take a look. So we're looking at 3.36 active, well, million active German forces. The Soviets are still looking good there, 4.01. They've been taking losses, but not huge losses as of yet. Yeah, only 1.1. But I'm hoping that we're making good progress over here. I think what we need to do here when it comes to actually approaching Leningrad, we do have a number of options, so let's actually go ahead and take a look what our options are. There's a lot of poor terrain here, so let's see, Zolvis. But then if we go ahead and take a look, that's perfect defensive ground. So I think what we need to do here then is we could potentially try to drive the armor through towards this gap over here, but obviously we'd have to go on to take Novaya Ladoga and Kobana, But that might be the easier path than marching straight up there. It's going to be difficult because obviously we're going to have to go straight through the Leningrad defenders. But as far as I'm concerned, I can leave this over here. Have them pinned up against the actual Gulf. Yeah, that one to the north. We can take that with the Finnish forces, which is quite good. Now, you would have 4 there, but to be honest, I could do with having you pull back. Oh, I see, okay. Oh, you're talking about this one. Yeah, you're right there. I think they can get close enough to take it, but obviously it would have to be ungarrisoned. But yeah, we'd have to go for that as well. Is it fortified there? It's not. I'll go ahead and hold on to that ground there. Yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll have the motorized take this. They could be useful there, but I'd rather make sure that we do take it. Damn, wrong one. Right, there we go, that's the correct call. Unfortunately, they can't pull off a planned attack, so not guaranteed this will work. I'm going to give them an additional machine gun battalion to try and up their numbers there a little bit more. The terrain is light woods, there is a town though. I'll not attack as of yet. In fairness, it could be worthwhile the HQ build-up, but then again, this isn't far away from the supply line, so it's not really as needed as it is elsewhere. And they're pretty good actually on fuel already. Yeah, there's a significant difference there. So they've got pioneers already then. In theory they should be able to beat them, but that is swamps. It's not exactly great, is it? Okay, we're gonna go with hasty attack. I'm hoping that'll be enough. I've got the planned, so the flag's doing quite well. And they do hold. God damn it. I suppose this is it, isn't it? I always like freaking do this one. Alright, we'll go with the full... No, I can't do it. God damn. Right, I'll have to be the Panzers then. Not ideal, to be honest, at all. You can see this is why we want to avoid the swamps, because it is horrific. But once we're into the... I mean, it's going to be forest, but it's certainly better than swamp. The good news is at least we're going through this route then being fortified as well. I mean, this really is like the business of the infantry here. Poor bastards. Yeah, it's not too bad for the infantry, it's not great for the armour. So I'm trying to drive them out of the actual swamp here if I can. It hurts me, but I'd rather not have to fight them in greater numbers in swamp. That's my issue. There we go, that's good. Yeah, thankfully we do get it. We hold there, but that's not too bad still. I think what I'm going to do is advance here with the motorized, secure the position. Well, quote-unquote secure. You can see here they're already beginning to fortify, like here it'll be a fortified position. So I think what we do then is, I'm going to move, I think to just, it might be worthwhile to deny them that. Yeah, never tempt fate. Yeah, we'll go ahead and move here. Sadly, it's only a hasty attack, but it should have more success. And it would have had more success had the 182nd not been committed. Bit riskier now. If I can decrease that fortification progress, that'd be good though. Yeah, I got screwed with the reserves, but hey. Yeah, losses ain't looking good for us so far. Yeah, it is a faraway activation. I mean, this is it, like, the Leningrad defenders are like, looks like all of them are on reserve. I don't think I'm gonna get this one. That's a good few FVs being lost as well. I don't think we'll get it. Oh no, what? Oh wow, okay. As you do. But that's not bad at all, actually. I could even push across the river. A river? Across here, actually. But I'll hold off with that. That's not bad. I still actually have a decent amount of, Not gonna attack Swamp, though. Learned that lesson. I suppose the issue is it's like, what do I do here? God, if I attach you to the wrong core again, Jesus, I must be blind. Ah, right, I see what the issue is now. I'll just move you on. I mean, we'll hope for the best here. I might want to actually throw something over there. No, let's see. I just don't know if they'd have enough for the hasty attack, that's the issue. And I do need to get them moving back for fuel, to be honest. So, we'll go ahead and do that. Yeah. Not super keen on it, but probably worthwhile. I'll do a planned attack with you, then at least we have the motorized that can still move in. At least we're more or less guaranteed a success here. It's one of those, isn't it? Like, sometimes you have to do the thing you don't want to, but at least it is going to achieve something that is worthwhile doing in the first place. Yeah, they retreat. Not really where you'd expect them to retreat to either. Okay, they can move in there. Yeah, that works for me. That works. Let's see, it might have enough to place in reserve. Yeah, we do. That works. Isn't what I would have preferred to have done, but at least we do have that now. So at least it looks like Estonia is cut off. Yes, cut off now. Which is what I should have done last time when I had an easier time of it. So that's my fault. This is the penance we pay for that. So I think what we're going to do here then is look to drive a gap here. And it looks like it could be done. First and foremost, I'm going to have you drive to the rear. I need you to go ahead and take on some additional fuel. If you could refit, that might be alright. But then again, saying that, you're about average, really. I'm going to take away the self-repel flak there. And that support there. Could have it used elsewhere, really. And I could attack that position there. Yeah, we'll leave them there. Yeah, not too keen on attacking the swamp there. I could attack that, but I don't think I'd make it, so there's not much point to doing that. Then I could get infantry across here. You got 2 pioneers, which is actually quite a lot of pioneers. I think we'll move up here then. Okay, so we do see the armor there. We do see an NKVD, and we see a rifle division. That is also swamp. I mean, this is it. We're going to avoid the swamp, really. Right, I actually can't go for a planned attack. I think we'll leave it there. It's better to be in a good position than a bad position. I mean, all in all, that's not bad. I mean, like, what we have now is we have our forces across the river in fairly good strength. We are pushing down here, which is excellent. So we might be able to push the Soviets back into a decent position here. Yeah, then ideally, the Red Army here in the north just overreact. If they overact to such a degree as where I can get by with this. Just like you take a look at this. What we're doing here then is we're really using the terrain. We're really using this forested terrain. It's the best we're going to get. We do have some clear terrain over here as well, which is nice. I hope... I mean, this is it. They could choose to abandon it. I doubt it, but it's more than likely that they're going to reinforce it. Which isn't too bad, really. Because at the end of the day, if I can really just take control of the actual defensive terrain from them, that works for me. But what I'm going to try to do then is, we'll use the infantry. The decent thing is we've got the infantry here now, which is excellent. So this can be like really held by the infantry. But what I want to do here then is just use the infantry to help the armor move through here. If we have enough fuel, we can move through here and really cause some issues. But some forces are going to have to move there. They're either going to move there towards the south, or they're going to pull out. But either way, as long as we can keep the Soviets moving, that's good. And like at the moment, they do have a front line, but it's one of those things where it's not very tenable as far as it goes. I'm not super happy about them in a line. Well, I'll hold there. Might as well move you forward. Yeah, I think just on the off chance, just move them there, just make sure. Move you back to that defensive terrain then. Oh, actually saying that I could have moved you. Well, these are the things, isn't it? Waste of fuel, but... oh well. Can't go back down. Yeah, we'll take a look at the other fronts in just a moment. Ah, so you could move across. Could I actually move you across into the headquarters? Well, into sorry, Pskov. God damn. Oh, I can. Well, that's great, then. Ah, never mind. I can see why I did it now. Okay, so there we go. So we've got you hold up over there. We've got additional reinforcements on their way. We're more or less garrisoned the cities, so I need to move in a little bit more garrison there. But Estonia should flip to our control next turn. The other fronts so far, mostly... they haven't moved for the most part. We do have a nice push by Army Group Center, so we do have additional reinforcements making their presence felt here soon. Hoping I might be able to cut this here, or just... to be honest, it doesn't particularly matter. I'm just going to brush past it and cut it off when we're able to. I don't need to put in, like, especially too much effort to do so. We'll be able to push past Smolensk this turn, and to be honest, it looks very weak here. We've got an airborne brigade, some weak actual divisions over here, but I'm hoping that beyond this line here, I'm hoping there's really not anything. I'm hoping just the sheer amount of mass here will be able to break through. Estonia will not flip. Tallinn and other ports are connected to Leningrad. Oh, is that how it works then? Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm sure I could always move some forces up that way. Either way, it's mostly irrelevant. It'll just be on a beachhead supply, I suppose you could say, then. Okay. The south is a bit of a risky situation at the moment. Obviously, due to the fact that we pushed all the way over here, but then the Soviets reacted to that. Though, have we seized the city of Odessa? Yeah, so we took Odessa, so I can't quite see it with that. It's turn shift chaos. Yeah, so we seized Odessa last turn. Well, technically this turn, but obviously in another episode. So we seized Odessa, which is very nice. Nice not to have a big fight for it. Do have our forces moving. We did go ahead and cut a lot of these forces over here, but what we ended up seeing is our own forces being cut off. So what we need to do is, well, link back up with them, but then we'd obviously have this to deal with. The issue of the south is just a sheer amount of armor. But it looks like over here is just open, which is good, because that means that we're going to find it easier to move on. This has been a pain in the arse. Really been a pain in the arse. But looking good so far. I think this is where we're going to leave it for today. I'm going to go at like a front. I think it's one of these things, it's like, if I do too many hours, it's like I end up like getting to a position where I'll not play for like a couple of weeks. So we've got a decent amount of time here then. So that's Army Group North more or less done there. So what we'll do in the next episode then is we'll move on to Army Group Center and probably try and get Army Group South done at the same turn as well. But we are making some good progress. I think this is probably the most realistic path to take over here in the north. What I'm looking towards doing then is really just sidelining these defenders here. I'm hoping that their strength will move over here to the front line. I'm hoping then I'll be able to maybe break through over here to the rear and just pin them against the actual waters. Yeah, I'd have to go for this over here, but that's very hard considering this here. Well, now I won't have to feel conflicted about watching this of the rocket launch. I didn't know there was a rocket launch on, so that's pretty cool. But thank you very much for that no name. Really appreciate it. You're a pretty cool dude, like. Okay, so this is what we're going to call it. So thank you so very much here, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. If you have enjoyed this, please do consider becoming a patron of mine. Definitely helps me out. And until next time, thank you and goodbye. Have a beautiful evening and an even better day. And of course, no name, enjoy the rocket launch, my friend. That's pretty cool. See you guys in the future. Goodbye for now.